Hi there, welcome to this video of mine. This is a phase 3 video on direct and inverse proportion. In this video we will be focusing on direct proportion only, which is F1, F2 and F3 on our flowchart. Direct proportion. Consider the following example. You are paid £10 an hour. The total money that you earn is directly proportional to the number of hours that you work. The more hours you work, the more money you earn. The less hours you work, the less money you earn. We could say that your earning is directly proportional to the number of hours that you work. Again, your earning goes up the more hours you work. Of course, it means that your earning would go down the less hours that you work. The reason why this is because there is a direct relationship between the hours and the total earning that you obtain. Consider the following example. Y is directly proportional to X. If something is directly proportional to something else, then when one increases, the other increases too. So in this example, as Y would increase, X also increases. Similarly, if the value of Y was to go down, as Y decreases, X would also decrease. Now, how do we express this mathematically? Let's take this for instance. Earning is directly proportional to hours. You're going to see a brand new symbol, which is the proportion symbol. How do we express this sentence here mathematically? Watch carefully. Earning, E for earning, H for hours. Earning is proportional to hours. This symbol here is your proportional symbol. Similarly, Y is directly proportional to X would be, yes, you've guessed it right, Y directly proportional to X. Here are two examples. On the left hand side, as we could see, that as the value of X is increasing, the value of Y also increases. How do I get from X to Y? I multiply by 3 in this case. I multiply by 3 throughout. An example on the left hand side, as we could see, that as the value of X decreases, the value of Y also decreases. Again, in this case, we're having to divide by 2 throughout to get to the missing number at the bottom. So we could summarize this as follows. Two variables, in this case X and Y, are proportional to each other if they increase or decrease at the same rate. What do I mean by this? This number here, if it's consistent, if it's constant throughout, then X and Y in this case is proportional. Similarly, on the example on the right hand side, this number here is the same throughout. Therefore, we could say that again X and Y are proportional. Moving on to an example, F1. Y is directly proportional to X. First thing that I could do here is Y is directly proportional to X. Now look very carefully the next step that I do. I keep the Y the same, I keep the X the same. I replace the proportional symbol with equal K. This is my first step. Let's call it step 1. Next, what I do is we substitute the value of Y when Y equals 30. Remember your equal sign under equal sign. K is the constant that we're trying to find. So it's K multiplied by the value of X is 5. Kx means K multiplied by X. We do the inverse operation here on both sides, which is to divide by 5. so k would equal to 6. The substitution part is my step 2. This is step 2. And lastly, to get to the final answer, I substitute my constant, the k value, back into step 1. So for the final answer, y is equal to, the value of k is 6x. This is my step 3. And this is my final answer. To summarize, look on the right hand side, you're about to see the steps. So step 1 is to form the equation. We replace the proportional symbol with equal k. So y equal kx, that's my step 1, equation form. Step 2, we substitute the values given to me in the question. So substitute and find the constant. And lastly, you rewrite the equation, step 1, but this time substitute the value of k in it. Moving on to an F2 example, as you could see in this case on the right hand side, I have already written the steps for us. F2 is very similar to F1, so I'm going to do this a little bit quicker. So y is directly proportional to x squared. So first thing that I could do is write what we've just learned. Y is directly proportional to x squared. Next, first step, form equation. So to form the equation, I replace this proportional symbol with equal k. I keep everything else the same. That's done. Step 2, substitute. So when y is 32, so instead of y here I write 32. K is a constant we're trying to find, keep it the same. Multiply by x is 2, the power of 2. Again, 32 equal k multiplied by 2 to the power of 2 is 4k. Divide by 4 on both sides, so k is 8. And then lastly, rewrite step 1 equation with the k value in it. So y equal 8x squared. In case you're wondering, this here is step 1. The substitution part is step 2. And here is my final answer, which is step 3. Moving on now to F3, which is again very similar to F1 and F2. The only difference here is that instead of x or x squared, I have got x to the power of 3 over here. Again, let's go through this reasonably quickly. As you could see, these steps are already on the right hand side. So read the first sentence, y is directly proportional to x cubed. Very first thing I could do here is write it mathematically. Y is directly proportional to x cubed. I replace this proportional symbol. In this case, I did not mention this earlier, but some of us call this little fish. So y equal kx cubed. This is my first step. Step 2 is substitute. When y is equal to 32, we need to find the value of k. So x in this case is 2. Equal on the equal. This on the right hand side gives me 8k. On the left hand side is 32. To find the value of k here, I divide by 8 on both sides. So k equal to 4. And last step, rewrite step 1 equation with the k value in it. In case you're wondering, this here is step 1. Substitution part is step 2. And we'll now need to find step 3, which is y equal, substitute the value of k in this. So k is 4x cubed. And this is step 3. And this is our answer. Okay. So here's 3 questions for you now to try on your own. F1, F2 and F3. Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, here's the answers. This is what you should have had for the first question. Y is equal to 5x. And F2, F3, here's the answers.